Do you like beef jerky? Me too. Today I'm going to share with you just how easy it is to make your own beef jerky at home using a dehydrator. When you buy jerky from the store, you're subject to a lot of food additives that you might not really want in your food. So if you make your jerky at home, you're able to control the ingredients that are going into it, and you can keep it a lot healthier for yourself and your family. So let's take a look at just how easy it is to make this happen. This morning we're gonna go ahead and mix up the sauce and prepare the meat for marinating, and then tomorrow I'll share with you how to get that into the dehydrator. I'm gonna start with the ground pepper because I need about a teaspoon, and it's kind of hard to measure when you're grinding it fresh, so I want it in the container. Pretty sure you can never have too much pepper. This particular recipe calls for a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. I try to stay away from soy as much as possible. I was going to make my own homemade soy sauce. It doesn't contain soy, but I found this in the cupboard. I have some coconut aminos that are the teriyaki sauce, and I was thinking that would be perfect for jerky. The coconut aminos are a great substitute for soy sauce in like fried rice or any type of stir fry, and so I don't see why they will be a problem here. They tend to have a little sweeter flavor than soy sauce, but I don't think that's going to hurt us for this project at all. I'm gonna put in 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Now we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire. We're gonna add 2 tablespoons of liquid smoke, 2 teaspoons of salt, a teaspoon of garlic powder. Clearly I haven't used this for a while and there's just a pinch left, so we're gonna finish that off. Apparently all container sizes are not equal. Can't get the teaspoon in there. So we're gonna go for half teaspoon measure so we can actually get in the container. We're doing a full teaspoon of onion powder and a teaspoon of paprika. We're gonna go ahead and whisk that up. While these flavors kind of meld together, we're gonna go ahead and get the meat ready to marinate. I have some sliced jerky meat. Some of these look to be a perfect size. This is not a problem whatsoever. And then some of these are a bit large. They're thinly sliced, but it does feel a bit large. So I'm gonna go ahead and trim that in half. And then I think we're gonna quarter it. Some might consider that kind of small, but I think that's going to dry a little faster. So I have more meat than will fit on one layer, and I'm gonna go ahead and pour part of the marinating sauce over the top of what I have in the pan right now, and then I'll put in more meat and layer in the rest of the marinating sauce. The recipe said to put plastic in between it. I don't really know why that would be necessary, so I'm skipping that step, as you can see. I think that looks fantastic. I will keep an eye on this as it's marinating, and if I need to scoop some or move some meat around just to make sure it's getting nice and coated, I will do that. We're gonna let that set until tomorrow. So probably about 20 hours. Some say overnight. I figure why not go for full flavor. Our meat is done marinating. Our next job is to put them onto the skewers so that we can get it ready for the hanging rack. I have 4 skewers, and I'm not really sure how many pieces of meat I have because, of course, I was not counting them when I did them up. All right, so I actually was able to do 4 pieces on most of the skewers, 5 on a couple, and I think we're ready to hang it. Now, with this tray, you can see that the rack is actually, or the skewer is actually going to lay across the rack, and that's going to hold it in like this. So, what I want to do is try to minimize the mess as much as possible. That's going to be our first trick. And secondly, I'm going to kind of move things so that I have 2 and 2. That's going to make it a little easier to put it on the rack, and then I can evenly space it out once it's in there. Now that we have everything on the rack, we're going to slip this into the dehydrator. I went ahead and slid the rack in at the 3rd level down, and then I put one of those solid trays underneath to catch any of the drips. Now I'm just going to double check and make sure that the jerky is evenly spaced so that it dries at a pretty consistent temperature. All right, now that I'm pretty happy with that, I am just gonna wipe up any drips that have occurred just to try to help reduce any mess in the future. We are going to set this for 145, and we're gonna do 8 hours. And then we'll just see where it's at from there. So you'll notice that it's still blinking and then it will stop, kind of like some stoves will do that as well when you try to set the temperature. And so now everything's going. Listen to how quiet that is. For the size of this, it really is a very quiet dehydrator. And then you can just barely see the meat just starting to move a little bit. That tells me that the air circulation is really good, and this is going to dry nice and even. I'll check back in with you when it's done. Our jerky looks like it's done. The timer has gone off. I did sample a little bit and it tastes fantastic. I'm gonna go ahead and lay this out on a tray to pop in the oven at 265 for about 10 minutes, just to kind of finalize everything, make sure that there isn't any problem with storage. Those look great. I hope that you're inspired to maybe give this a try for yourself. Making homemade jerky is much simpler than we really consider when we are wanting to enjoy that quick snack on the go. If today's video was helpful, don't forget to click like, and we would love to have you subscribe and be part of our community here at Blooming Wildwood Homestead. Until next time, bye everyone.